All right, we got some big levels to talk about in this video. We're gonna actually change it up a little bit. We're gonna focus on what's happening, what's important. If you want to get an update on what's going on the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, the Dow, the equity markets, after this short video, you're gonna see a link to this morning's live stream. In the beginning of that live stream, you're gonna see a review on each and one of those at the very beginning of that live stream. Everything discussed during that analysis then holds true and relevant right now. Go ahead and watch that after this. We're going to focus here on gold. I want you to see that gold right here is closing above the important level over here. What level is that? Come over here with me. We're going to change this 1904. We're going to flip that from resistance to support as we're closing over that today. That's a big deal. That goes ahead and regains the bullish technical structure we have here on gold. This looks like it was nothing more than a trap over here, catching shorts on the wrong side of the trade. That's why we got neutral here, but we avoided selling over here because the fundamentals are bullish. And here now we have the technicals turning bullish once again. That does not mean buy. That does not mean buy at all. This means that we're setting up here now for a buy entry. We're going to be looking at it over the next couple of days, what happens. By the way, the close over 1904 here, bullish, even if we pull back into this trend line over here and are able to confirm that as support and resume up, that would be the first entry we were looking at. That would be entirely bullish. The other thing that could happen is that we continue to rise up and then we come back in and we look for the retest of that 1904 support on a resumption up. That also opens up an entry. You have to be patient. You have to pick your spots and you have to wait for that high probability setup. The other thing that could happen is that we could come up and then break past this trend line over here without ever getting that first pullback. And then maybe afterwards we get the pullback into that broken resistance, that trend line resistance. That also provides a fantastic entry. Those are the three things we're watching to get into a long trade here on gold. And of course, this could also wind up being nothing more than a failure. That's why we never buy the retest. We always look for the resumption out. It is possible. And if we trade back below 1880, at that point, the 1880 support, this was nothing more than a failed move over here. That's what we're watching on gold. Very, very strong and good move here on gold. Before we get into silver and Bitcoin, the other markets that I want to share with you, let's focus in on the dollar over here. Very important. You can see that the dollar has been unable to break back above the 94 resistance over here. Not only that, you can see this trend line, which was all resistance, until it broke, right? And now it's still resistance again over here. We are in no man's land. We need to extend below 93.55 to call this a failed breakout counter trend move on the dollar. Okay, you have tomorrow morning New York session. You have non-farm payrolls. Let's wait to see that out of the way, and then we'll look to see what the dollar's doing. It looks like it's in jeopardy here, and it could fall back below the 93.55. Obviously, that will help the move on gold if that were to occur. And like we said, we took out a big level here on gold, but we're not out of the woods yet. Now, before we get into the most powerful acting asset today, and you're going to be surprised by what I say, I want to first look over here at silver. And the reason I want to focus in on the other metal over here is because unlike gold, it has not taken out the 2450 resistance. Okay, it's lagging a little bit. You can see so far, if I zoom in over here, we've put in a lower high. Now, we're still above over here. We're still above the 2330 support, okay? We're still in no man's below the 2450 resistance. No big deal. This gives us a pretty clear indication of what's next. If we break above 2450, silver has also joined gold in regaining its bullish structure. At that point, people could start leaning in to silver once again. If we break 2330, watch out. Do not consider that a break. Go ahead, let me zoom out a little. Let me highlight that lower bound trend line for you. Let me go ahead and also make that a little bit brighter for you. Not until we break below there. As long as we hold this trend line over here, just stay neutral. Stay neutral in no man's land. Break down below here. Those that are aggressive, those that are trading the paper stuff, they could look to lean into the short side. I myself will not do that. Again, I believe the metals are in an uber bull market over here. I'm just going to wait, and I'm looking for them to break 2450 on the upside in order to start looking towards the long side. All right, now let's take a look over here at Bitcoin. I think this is the best performing asset all day. How on earth could I say that? Bitcoin down 1.8% on the session over here, unable to break out above this trend line. We were watching this trend line in the morning, and I said if we're able to break out above this, I think that would send us above 11,000 and then possibly into the next leg up, challenging the yearly high over here on Bitcoin. We traded down on the day. We had enormous news today. We had BitMEX, the CFTC filed charges against BitMEX. Not only that, criminal charges versus the executives. The CTO has already been arrested. The CEO, Arthur Hayes, has an arrest warrant out for him, as well as do a couple of the other executives. Enormous news. If this would have happened just a couple of years ago, Bitcoin would have been off. I don't even know by how much, 10, 15% easily. Only trading down 1.8% on the day. You can see over here, it has held the 10,570 so far. It has not closed for the daily support area. I want to tell you a couple of important things right now, okay? The first important thing is right now, BitMEX is processing withdrawals. That's entirely a positive. And if they continue tomorrow and continue to process withdrawals, Bitcoin should be able to bounce back over here. I say that from today's price action. If for any reason they start halting withdrawals, there could be a big dump on Bitcoin, no question about it. Okay? Be careful. If anyone has any funds on BitMEX, public service announcement, get them out of there right away. Look over here. As long as we're holding this trend line over here, super bullish over here. The fact that we've held so far the 10,570 support today, the fact that we're not bleeding out today, all entirely positive. Bitcoin's not out of the woods by any means yet. The next 24, 48 hours, very crucial, okay? It is possible, again, it is possible if we lose this trend line over here coming in right now at 10,138, that we have a quick move down, taking out the CME gap at 9,600, holding probably this trend line that's coming in around 9,400. It is possible if that breaks, we go even lower towards 8,800. Have your orders ready. I honestly thought that this news was going to send Bitcoin down a little bit further on the defensive. That has not happened yet. The price action is entirely bullish. However, be very careful and cautious. The next 48 hours is pretty important over here. And again, just keep watching the technicals, keep watching price. If you break above this trend line, Bitcoin is rallying and could send it towards its next leg up. Again, watch the downside as well. Breaking below this trend line over here, that would really send us down for a following leg. That would be a bit of a surprise. But so then again was BitMEX today falling under CFT prosecution. Like I said before, if you want to get a really good look at the equity markets, our analysis this morning is what you want to see. The link to that video is going to pop up on the screen right now. Click on that session, watch the beginning, watch where we talk about the S&P, followed by the NASDAQ and the Dow, especially on the NASDAQ, where we give the trade entry, where we talk about where you would place your stop loss levels, as well as your take profit. It's a fantastic tutorial. All right, everyone, I will see you all later. Have a wonderful day, and if you're still here and you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you later.